Hello, hello everyone. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. This is Mentor Anna once again. And how are you? How are you? It's February 5. It's past 9 o'clock in the evening. Kamusta po ang inyong Thursday? How are you? How is your work week doing so far? And maybe some of you are already at home, may dalang trabaho, or maybe already enjoying your dinner and you are here with me on a Thursday evening. Thank you so much for your time. And for those who are totally new here on my business page and on my LinkedIn account and YouTube channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Ako po si Ana Montesa. I'm a former accounting and finance professional at dati rin po akong hospital CFO. I worked in the corporate world for 15 years and now I'm a proud full-time digital business owner for 5 years. So welcome, welcome, welcome. If you wanted to drop in, I'd love to know where you are tuning in from. If you're also here in the Philippines and or you are, coming from a different country, we are global here. So thank you for being here with me on a Thursday evening, and let's get started. So for this evening, it's a Thursday. That's why we are talking about something that is related to our faith. So if you've been following my page and my social media accounts, so every Monday, meron tayong ibang topic. Tuesday, iba rin ang topic natin. And Thursday, it's all about faith, right? So for tonight, I wanted to share with you something that I learned slowly and not in a straight line. So if you see here on your screen, it's before God expands you, He trains you, right? So it really is, one of my own personal experience also to experience this na bago man ibigay pa sa atin ni Lord yung ating hinihingi, right? He also trains us. He also prepares us to be that person na kaya niyang dalin yung ating mga hinihiling, right? And, I'm sharing this not as someone who already figured out, as in lahat is hindi pa perfect. I'm also not a perfect person, but as someone who has spent seasons asking God. So one of the questions that I always ask is, what are you doing here? And there was actually a long season in my life where things look really okay on the outside, but inside, I was really tired. I was unsure where I'm going, and I have been quietly questioning God. Well, not actually God, no, but yung aking sarili. Like, am I really in the right path, or am I still on the right path? Right? Because there were times that we are being, led to experience, different phases in our life, in our different life journey, right? And sometimes we tend to ask, is this all there really is? Or ito na ba yun, right? Or ito ba yung purpose na binigay sa atin ni Lord, right? Or is it where I'll be able to, use my God given skills or talents, right? I don't know if you've also asked yourself that way, but there was also a point in my life that I've also asked that way, right? So, or why do I feel restless when everything, when, everything seems just very fine, right? So, back then, if you know my story, I was a CFO. Um, and at some point in my life, I really didn't suddenly become brave or faithful. There were times that I was felt so confused, right? If I'm still in the right path, or tama pa ba yung ginagawa ko. There were days that I stayed still with my work, no? Um, because part of me felt like I was so scared to really leave my stable job, no? And then as the days move forward, I still feel like hindi ko pa rin nakuha yung sagot sa katanungan ko. I don't know if you've also experienced that, no, na kapag may mga katanungan tayo kay Lord is we feel confused, we feel uncertain, right? But we are still looking for the answers. Sometimes meron tayong hinihiling, but it's really different from what is given to us, right? And most of the time, yung binibigay sa atin is something that is better than what we initially prayed for, right? And for me, it wasn't really grateful. it wasn't really graceful, rather. That time it wasn't really that confident, and I was just being human, acknowledging that I'm not perfect, acknowledging that I also feel confused, and if I would go back to those time na I really doubt yung may uncertainty that time, I see it now very differently. When I was still working as a CFO, and then now, as I move into my journey, ngayon nasa business na nga ako, there were part of me, I just realized no that God wasn't really rushing me, right? So I don't know if you've also experienced this na minsan we try to rush things. Gusto natin, makuha natin yung gusto natin agad-agad, right? We want to immediately become that person that we really wanted. So, but for me also, I've also experienced that, no? And if I would go back to those times na pinagdadaanan natin, di ba, yung mga struggles natin sa buhay, it will also give us realization that God was really training us to become more patient, right? To discern ano ba talaga yung gusto niya na matutunan natin along the journey. And of course, very important is magtiwala doon sa plano niya na ibinigay niya sa atin, right? It may not be given right where you ask when you ask for it, but sometimes, yung process and keeping the faith as you move along in your journey, right? That's where you are being trained to become patient, right? And mas magiging handa ka doon sa hinihiling mo, right? Sometimes it may be different from what you really ask for. But of course, not to really escape where I really was, but to become really ready for what was really ahead, di ba? So maybe for those who are watching live right now or will catch this on a replay, some of you may also be in the same middle space right now. Hindi ka broken. You are also not failing. You are actually successful in your career, and you are just becoming that person that God wants you to be. Because a lot of us are really seeking for signs or asking for answers, right? Like, am I where I am supposed to be, Lord? And and sometimes during the wait, as we trust and keep on moving into our journey, sooner or later God will answer our prayers. And in time, do realize that He was just training you to become that person that He wants you to be. Right? There's actually a verse that really says that whoever is faithful with little will be faithful with so much. And I used to think about this verse, no, because it really meant like doing more. Akala ko ganun eh. Parang I have to really do more. But now I really do understand that, in order for us to become that person that we really wanted, it really means becoming deeper, right? So, in order to become successful, we have to go through struggles, we have to go through challenges to keep our faith stronger, right? And to keep on trusting the process and the journey, right? So, if you are in a season that you also feel slow, for example, you are aiming at something, maybe you're in the business, you're not in the business, maybe in your career, in your life, and you have been wanting for something, but yung season of your life is a little bit slow. You've been asking for prayers, but God's answer is still not yet there. So medyo naramdaman mo rin yung uncertainty. And you feel heavy, and meron pa rin, hindi pa rin clear until now. Maybe the invitation is really not to, force the answers, but to notice what God is really shaping in you, right? It can be He wants you to become more patient. He wants you to, become resilient. He wants you to become more faithful while waiting for what you have been asking for. So for tonight, I just wanted to ask you, what is this, to also reflect you rather. Ask yourself, what is this season in your life asking you to learn? What kind of person is it forming you into? Of course, you don't need to really answer this question tonight. just, allow that question to sink in, and, reflect also. Baka meron tinuturo sa'yo si Lord for now, right? He's being refining you to become that woman or to become that person that He really wants you to be. Because when expansion really comes, it won't just change your situation. It will meet a version of you who is really ready for what you have been praying for. All right. So I hope that I inspired you tonight, and you're also experiencing that slow season in your life. Just do know that, God is always there for us, and, always trust in the process, and keep the faith. And of course, as what I've previously mentioned in the previous episode, is keeping the faith doesn't mean na just praying. Keeping the faith means that you are also moving, moving in faith, and you are believing that what you are asking for will also be given to you. So ang gusto ni Lord is He also wants us to move, to show that we are faithful to what He is, going to give us in return, right? So that's it for tonight. So thank you for staying here with me on a Thursday evening. So I really do appreciate you, and always do know that, we are in a season of waiting, yet season of preparation, right? And if that time comes, right, yung pinagdarasal natin will also be given to us, then maybe that time we will also understand, right? We will also understand why God made us wait, because He finally, refined us to become the person that He wants us to be, because we followed His footsteps. All right. So thank you for being here with me, and I'll see you again tomorrow on my next go live. So thank you, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.